Orchestra members. This is Mr. Steves at Kamiak, and just wanted to reach out and take a minute to talk about our orchestra program here at Kamiak. I am really hoping that you are considering continuing your membership in orchestra, and we have lots of kids involved in the orchestra, and I'm reaching out because I really want you to be a part of it. So I'm going to talk about three major issues, and then students will take over the last couple. So then also talk about some of the performance opportunities we have in the Kamiak High School Orchestra, because you've had great experiences already in middle school, and you may be thinking, what is there else to do? And there's still lots. And so I just wanted to make sure that you knew what was going up here at Kamiak and lives. So it's an important decision, and I just want to make sure that you know, have as much information as possible so you make the right decision. All right, so I'm going to talk about, first off, with your 4-year schedule. So taking the 24 required classes and taking orchestra itself is not too much of a challenge. So here's some example of just the regular standard 24 credits. You take 4 years of orchestra, 4 years of English, 3 years of math is required, 3 years of science, 3 years of social studies, 2 years of PE health, you want 2 years of world language minimum, and then there's an occupational requirement as well. And let's see, I think I mentioned just about everything, but it's out there on the screen. That's not the difficulty. What we're going to look at with some more detail is the college-bound academic course load, which is of course more rigorous than just getting the Kamiak diploma. So we're going to start right away with 4 years of orchestra, of course. And so that takes care of your 2 years of fine arts and your 2 electives, but it's a great way to choose your elective space. 4 years of English, it could be those courses that I've listed here, or any, for the required English classes. Then most of you will be taking 4 years of math. You may be already in geometry right now or algebra 1, so the courses may be different, but still 4 years of math, 4 years of science, and hopefully you're starting your lab sciences biology if you've already started it in middle school. And then 3 years of social studies, and so we don't take social studies as a freshman, so we can put a semester of PE and a semester of health in there. 3 years of world language, and then you do need to take an occupational class, and a lot of kids take Java, but it could also be AP music theory. You see, though, that in this plan, we are still short a period of PE, but of all the things, that's the easiest one to cover. So just so you know, it's all in the handbook, but highlight that anytime you take you participate in a athletic organization, either club or here at Kamiak, a season counts for a semester of PE. It's not you don't get a credit of PE for it, but you do get to waive one of the PE courses, semester requirements. So you could achieve your 2 semesters of PE with 2 seasons of tennis or golf or something like that. Also, we do offer a few 0 and 7th period classes, and weight training is one of them. So 0 period weight training is an option. And then there's about 5 or 6 classes you can take independent study through BYU. They're kind of festive, aerobic walking, bowling, I think archery perhaps. And those are quick. You can finish those up pretty quickly, much faster than if you took the whole semester class. So this is how you can take a really full academic load and still fit in time with your viola. Now, on top of this, also at the middle schools, we offer high school classes. So maybe some of you have already kind of chipped away at some of those. It means maybe taking a more advanced math class, for example, if you're already in algebra 1 or geometry. But maybe you started your Spanish already or some world language, so that gives you more elective space. If you're already taking honors biology and you start with chemistry next year, that gives you more space. So we just went through high school registration, and no kids came to me with big issues about having to not being able to take their academic course load and taking orchestra. So I just wanted to kind of give you some thoughts about developing that 4-year plan. Um, Also, you're thinking about, of course, this is preparation for university, and it used to be that kids would want to fill their college resumes full of as many things as possible. A year of French club, and a year of Green club, and a year of band, and maybe some scouts in there or something. But here's what counselors or college admission counselors are advising: that students participate in a few things more rigorously and deeply. So going all the way to get the Eagle Award, or to take 4 years of French club and 4 years of tennis, taking 4 years of orchestra, for example. That really piques their interest when they see, especially if you've done something like orchestra, something that's challenging to do and it requires teamwork. So you will be actually really enhancing your college applications with 4 years, and especially I think orchestra really says something about your character and your goals and things. Routinely, the valedictorian comes from the ranks of the orchestra, and so we haven't named our valedictorian this year yet, but we do have at Kamiak 8 National Merit Scholars semifinalists, and of the 8, 5 are in the orchestra, as is usual. So yeah, it's just an outstanding peer group, and the most outstanding academic kids in Kamiak are in the orchestra. And now a little bit about what kind of performance opportunities we have. We're just so fortunate to have such talented and dedicated musicians. So we get to play literature that's usually beyond what a lot of high schools have the chance to play. So we play a lot of the real substantial masterworks, which the more you play them, the more you grow as an artist and you appreciate them more. And this is stuff that the Seattle Symphony will be playing routinely. It's the real deal especially in our top 2 orchestras. And point out again that when the instrument goes away, it's forever. You are required to take 2 years of performing fine arts, and so unless you have a passion in this specific area, we don't offer a lot of courses that aren't performance oriented. So you take some history of pop music and some guitar and improv theater or something, and you still need to take a couple more arts classes. So you may want to consider continuing orchestra, just seeing what it's all about at Kamiak. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get off and let you watch a 5-minute sort of montage of Kamiak performances of recent years, just highlighting that we make a big emphasis on quartet playing, and that's fantastic literature. And then some really short clips of performances in Germany, which was our last performance tour. We have a great band program, of course, and so we get to do symphonic music as part of our great masterworks. And so I have a couple clips from our fall concert and from our recent Kamiak performance with some Dvorak and some Beethoven. You've probably heard of the Kamiak Uber Commerce Strike, highly high achieving elite group of musicians who've really made string playing their a major focus, and they rehearse and perform without a conductor, and they're a great group and are doing great this year. And then it closes with one of our traditions, which is Holiday Classics concert with the choir, and we do some selections from Handel's Messiah, and we will close, of course, with Hallelujah Chorus.
nice country. So come back to Germany and have a nice day. And now we are listening to music, and a really warm welcome to Brian Steves and his orchestra.
So our last two items, one is the social part of being an orchestra, and I'm actually going to turn the reins over to students to talk about that. And then the last major point is working with Mr. Steves. So again, I'm not going to talk about that. I'll let the kids spew about the real inside story. But just again, we are going on a trip, which is part of the social aspect. And just the bonds that the kids make together, as I observe it, is really a wonderful thing to be with the same group of kids, an outstanding group of kids, all 4 years, and have an opportunity to actually travel with that group is just it's something you don't get in other programs, and outside of our music program. So I may see you at the end, but again, thanks for your time, and thanks to your middle school teachers. They're great. I heart them, and I am really hoping that you'll consider Kamiak Orchestra and being a part of us in the fall of 2022. All right, thanks. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Zoe.
I'm Andrew.
And you guys both went to Explore, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just tell me some things that you experienced with orchestra this year, some things that you liked, and maybe some of the struggles or something as well. But so what are some of the things, Andrew, that you liked about orchestra so far this year at Kamiak?
And I know we had a few new basses, and they were welcomed in so easily. And everyone's just a family here.
All right. Zoe, what do you think?
I've built really strong bonds with people that I've even known. Like I've never played with Andrew before, and he's been my stand partner. And I don't know, I feel like you build a really great sense of community with other people, and I've met a bunch of people I would have never met before at orchestra.
Cool. And how did you feel about your musical growth coming from your 8th grade orchestra to 9th grade? Has it been a positive experience? Have you?
Yeah, it's definitely been positive. I know I've focused a lot more on technique and shifting, and a lot of the pieces we've had have really challenged me in terms of like shifting and bow styles, and so it's been really good for my musical growth.
Every piece we do, it's like the perfect manageable point of the technique you can do, because a piece will go from like first position to third position, and then we spend a lot of time in class working on that shift to make it easier on everyone.
All right. Well, thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. And we're going to now hear from another dynamic duo. Let you guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Sal.
And I'm Kristen.
Kristen, thanks for talking about orchestra here at Kamiak. 2 more 9th graders who've been in the intermediate orchestra. So, Kristen, what did you think about the year so far? And you were in the viola section.
Yes. So far at Kamiak, the orchestra has been like really welcoming, and the environment is very positive. And I have made many new friendships and bonds, and I've learned new techniques.
Hi, fun. And what about you, Sal?
Well, it's really brought a lot onto me. Like, I've learned so much more in terms of my musicality, and I've learned that I work a lot harder under conditions of high school with.
All right, thanks. And how did you guys do with your academics this year? Was orchestra a burden compared with your other classes?
Absolutely not.
It's not a lot of extra things,
No.
right? A lot of extra practicing?
Just some practicing outside of school will get you through.
Yeah.
Minimal, like 30 minutes a day, and you get passed, and you can even do good and get first chair or something.
Yeah. So any advice to incoming freshmen? Should they, if they are taking, need to take music, should they continue with orchestra?
I absolutely think they should, because it helps you expand, and it would also look good on your college resume.
What do you think, Kristen?
I would agree with that. I feel like that balancing higher level classes and orchestra is really good for you, like academically, and helping you improve.
And do you guys like the music Mr. Steve chooses?
Mr. Steve chooses good music for us.
Yeah, I do like classical music, I gotta say. What about you guys? Any closing comments about being freshmen and the year's already over, halfway over, about 2/3 of the year over? It's hard to believe, but next year's gonna be a trip year, so is that something to look forward to?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll be announcing the trip, hopefully, maybe, the concert's only a week away, but I'm getting some quotes and we'll see. So, well, thanks all 4 of you guys. We're here at Kamiak 2022 and in Reed Orchestra Freshman Contest Day. And this is Mr. Steves with the kids signing out.
And I play the violin.
Violin.
Becca's also our concert master.
Concert master.
Concert master of PS2.
Give her a clap. Yeah. I'm trying to clap.
It can be stressful sometimes, but it's a lot of fun. It's fun to hang out with your section and just get to know people. you'll have a lot of fun in PS2 and or IO or PS1, whatever you choose to do. And it's just a great opportunity to connect with people and, you know, be passionate about playing an instrument.
What's your name?
My name is Janie Rue and I'm a freshman.
What instrument do you play?
Violin.
Wow. What about you?
I'm Kyra Reed and I play the viola. I'm a sophomore.
Wow. So, what's your experience with being in orchestra so far?
So much fun. Orchestra!
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Thompson and I play the cello. My favorite part about orchestra is the great people. You just make the best connections with the people in orchestra.
What's pushing Kamiak?
We got 4 years orchestra student Norman O'Brien here. Why didn't you join orchestra and stick with it?
So I stuck with it for the college aspect. More importantly, it's because I get to spend time with my favorite people in the world, the orchestra homies, you know, all of my friends that I've had for years. So stay in orchestra, guys.
That is huge.
That is respect. Yeah, tell us how you really feel.
Sometimes I think about joining choir and
I love music and I love the cello.
I love meeting new people, but also, you know, some music are challenging and I love challenges.
Who we got here with us today?
Oh, you got Sadie the man.
Sadie the man. What's your favorite thing about the orchestra program at Kamiak?
How well we end together.
Hey, another thing about orchestra that never gets mentioned is the great field trips we get to be on. Wow.
Yes.
The scenic Western Washington University is one of the destinations that people most enjoy. Mr. Steves, are these guys better than us? Impossible.
Cuts to everybody being like, what? Like, nobody's scared of Mr. Steves. Why should you be scared of Mr. Steves? We're not!
Alice, what's your favorite thing about orchestra?
My favorite thing about orchestra is looking at Mr. Steve's face and him teaching every day.
Hi, I'm Lena Check. I'm a sophomore viola. My favorite thing about orchestra is the orchestra teacher, Mr. Steves. He's just a bundle of energy.